Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds, hanging out with these nerds.
Nathan Nerdarchy.
Nerdarchy said.
In this video, we totally prove how powerful first level spells could possibly be. As recently, a lot of our videos are coming from different ideas we've been seeing in Facebook groups. For some reason, Facebook is like bombarding me with D&D groups right now, and I'm seeing all these cool questions. And I was like, oh, we did a video very similar to this, but less restricted. Like we did, hey, if you could cast one D&D spell, what would it be? And like of anything, and we were like, all right, let's throw away obvious thing like wish and stuff like that. But someone else had asked, well, what if it was only a first level spell? What could you have? And then we started like talking and thinking about that, and that is literally a game changer. Just a first level spell from a D&D game in the real world. So it's like, well, wouldn't it be fun for us to talk? Each pick our top first level spell and what that might be.
All right. So first off, I have to say that there's gotta be like extra qualifiers into this question. Is it you can cast it once a day? Can you cast it as much as you want? Like all of those kind of things.
If it's a ritual spell, can you ritually cast it?
Well, you could if you're a wizard. Are you a wizard?
Do you have ritual
I have a
caster?
beard like a wizard sometimes. Some say.
So like that's going to lead to my decision. I've got things that are definitely talking points, things that are like, well, I like that spell and I like that spell, but what do you do? How do you make that decision? So we need to determine for the topic of this conversation, how often can we cast it?
What are the parameters?
Yes.
Let's say you can just spam it if you wanted to.
All right, so you can cast it unlimited times a day, and boom, you got it.
Now, I think you're going to automatically throw away some things because in the real world, they don't really have any practical use, or you're just a sociopath.
Catapult.
One or the other.
Catapult.
One or the other.
I almost picked it.
Cats go raining everywhere. My cat's kind of a dick, so I might consider that one. We love him very much. No, but yeah, like catapult or magic missile or things that would actually be offensive attack spells. Do you really need them? How useful is detect magic if you're the only one that has magic?
Yeah.
So there's things like that. Well,
are you?
Well, that's the question.
And magic missile would be really cool if you could
shoot bottles.
Yeah, or
but they're not a
if
creature,
you could
so
like hold a gun and it looked like you're firing the gun, so you could be like the best trick shot guy ever.
Your gun is your arcane
Yeah,
focus.
and you just I was thinking,
as long as it's a creature, though.
This first level spell would make me cool and famous. Like Hunter's Mark, you'd be the best game hunter in the world because it's never getting away from you.
You could track it, but it doesn't make you a better shot. Like if you don't have natural aptitude, it's not going to help you. Like you can be better, you're going to hit it harder, and you're going to know where it's at
if you can hit it.
But you're like, oh, you got away again
because I can't shoot you.
You're like, you never get to use your hunter mark again because it's stuck on this one deer that you can't get. So when you guys think about, well, if I could, just have one spell, what comes to mind?
Right.
Not the spell, but why. What you wanted to do, like.
All right, so I have two things that I naturally gravitated towards, and my first instinct was speak with animals. My family watches a lot of shows on Animal Planet, and you see about you've got this guy who's like the cat whisperer, and this girl who's amazing with dogs and whatever have you, and it's really cool. But how awesome would it be to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna have a conversation with them and literally know what's going on. Why is this cat crapping on the floor? Like, will
it make your life better? And how?
It's not designed like. I just think it would be something that would be awesome to do. I don't think it's gonna make my life better. It would definitely make me more famous, and who knows where that would lead.
Essentially, you'd be Dr. Doolittle.
Essentially. And then my actual final answer, I would go towards cure wounds, and I'd be like, I can just touch and heal people. It's bam.
You could be a doctor or surgeon without like all that silly training.
Yeah. So
up yours, Kurt.
So like I guess maybe like the natural instinct of me who plays a lot of clerics. I think that's where I would go, and it would definitely be like, well, I could do a lot of good with it.
It's got practical applications all the time.
My mind goes back to the cat crapping on the floor for some reason. And I'm like, it's because he doesn't like you. And you're going to be like, why are you crapping on the floor? Because I don't like you.
There you go. Well, now you got the answer. Like, all right, well, I'm going to take this cat to someone that will like him. Whether it's just, I'm an amazing doctor or surgeon, or like, I'm hoisted up as a saint who can heal by touch. It'd be pretty cool.
So I would like to say that both.
How do you feel about that as a Catholic? As him trying to become a saint?
I didn't say I would be a saint. There'd be people that would view me as such.
Well, there's like miracle things that you have to be tested on and stuff. There's a process. You might just not make it. So as far as the choice of spells, I would say I had two that I was interested in. After I found out that both of yours was my first two choices.
Nice.
So,
wait, you off camera we talked, and you did talk about one that was kind of linked to the one that Ted picked.
Put me on the spot, Dave. I don't remember.
Animal friendship.
Animal friendship.
Oh, animal friendship.
Because you're like, you know what? Yeah, you can figure out what they want or know what they want, or I can
Yeah.
just make them do what I want.
No, they lose hostility towards you, and you can make them your friend. That'd be pretty cool. Because, there's some things that I think would be really awesome, like being able to like ride a bear with a saddle.
Interesting.
I mean, I want at least a picture of that. That would look awesome. I'd be like, all right, thanks for letting me have this ride. All right, I'm going to go away before you decide to eat me.
Send your artwork of Nate riding a bear to nerdarchy@gmail.com.
Now I'm just envisioning in my head the kind of bears they might send Nate riding.
No.
The fan fiction of Nate and bears.
Oh, no. So
You open the door yourself, man.
So there's the animal friendship aspect. And then there's other things similar to animal friendship, another enchantment thing with charm person. I feel like it would be bad morally for me to have charm person because it's just too good.
Everything you described was like silly supervillain.
I just have to start monologuing in real life to justify how much supervillainy I would do with charm person. So I was like, no.
Yeah,
Remember, folks, charm is not consent. Say it with me. Charm is not consent.
So I thought about charm person as well, and as we had talked off air, it's like, well, we all have good parts in us and bad parts, and I want to avoid that whole avenue. I don't need to tempt the fates, tempt the dark side.
I feel like Ted's like, he's going to do stuff and he's going to make the world a better place, and you're like, well, I'm going to seem really cool. I'm not going for any of that. I'm like, what spells would make my life easier? I'm like, I know. Unseen servant. I'd be like, I will never wipe my own butt again. Never, ever. I'd be like, oh, you know what? I need a foot rub. And your duration is an hour. Perfect.
My neck's sore.
Yeah. I just envision if I had unseen servant, like eventually there's a place where all the unseen servants gather at some point and they talk about like their masters and the things they have to do. And they're like, oh my God, like I have to stock the books on the shelf and clean and do that. And mine would be there like in a corner, like shaking, crying. He made me. It would just be awful. I would be like the worst wizard in the world if I could just have that one spell.
So you know how like that whole absolute power can corrupt absolutely? Well, it's like, no, for us, we've got a really low bar. First level spells corrupts absolutely.
Yeah. It's a really low bar, and I'll be like, foot rubs, wipe my butt, go wash the dishes, go watch my kids, edit this video,
make my dinner, put away my laundry.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of ways to get in trouble, and I'm even censoring some of the raunchier stuff I said about unseen servant.
Yeah, he actually stopped mid sentence there, so we know what he's really talking about.
I will have the most rested hands in all of mankind.
It's just like, he's got the full manicured nails. I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, I ran out of stuff to tell to do. So check these boogers out. I can be a hand model. And I liked Disguise Self. That was my one that I was definitely going with after all the moral quandaries developed from Charm Person. And
I don't think it's going to get any better with Disguise Self, to be honest with you.
Well, I was just going to do it.
Nate's going Super Spy.
I was just either Super Spy or I was just going to do like just a little bit, make me look a little bit better, trim my beard so I don't have to trim it. Like if someone had to spell magic, it would just be like my wild man face underneath of like perfect.
If you had an unseen servant, you wouldn't have to do any of that.
Yeah, that's
stuff.
true. See,
Right, but since he's the famous Nate the Nerdarchy, he could cast disguise self and walk about in town, and no one would be able to
and
recognize
never be recognized. Or I could disguise myself as an actual famous person. And then people will lose their minds when they see on Facebook that someone is in New York City and also San Francisco at the same time.
Well, after Ted gets his sainthood, you could disguise self as Ted.
Oh yeah, there we go. So yeah. So again, basically what we learned today from us getting access to first level spells is that we would do
that
bad
we
things.
shouldn't. That we shouldn't.
I'm happy with my moral choices.
Oh, yeah.
So the question is, guys, what would you do if you could cast a first level spell unlimitedly? We got a place where you can let us know, and that's down in the comments below. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe.
You can patronize us in a good way over on Patreon.
Or you can hang out with us over at nerdarchy.com.
So until next time,
Stay nerdy.